Good morning, students. Yesterday we read how we can prevent communicable diseases by using clean food and water. So, under this category, we read 3 points. At first, we must always boil water 10 to 15 minutes to purify that water. Then, we must also wash fruits and vegetables thoroughly before using them, because when we bring those things from the market, they may contain germs. So get rid of those germs. We should wash all these thoroughly before using. And in number 3, the milk contains germs, and to destroy those germs we need to boil it. In the market, the packets that we buy from the market, that those packets in the milk in those packets are pasteurized. The process of boiling the milk at a high temperature and then cooling them quickly is called pasteurization, and by this process the germs present in the milk are destroyed. We also read how we can prevent communicable diseases by getting vaccinated. So to prevent from diseases, we have vaccinations available, and a child is given vaccinations when the child is very small, so that he can be protected from many diseases. There are diseases like diphtheria, influenza, typhoid, tetanus, polio, hepatitis, mumps and measles. All these diseases are there, and a child can be protected from all these diseases if the child is given the vaccination. And when we talk about today, the vaccination for coronavirus is also being prepared. After the vaccination is prepared, it will be available to us, and after we are given that vaccination, we will be safe from that COVID-19 disease. We also read about the congenital disease. What is a congenital disease? It is a birth defect. It is a disease which is present to a child at the time of birth. And there may be several causes of this disease. If the mother does not have a healthy lifestyle, or the mother does not does not have proper diet, if the mother is eating contaminated food and water, the baby inside the mother's womb is affected at that time, and when the baby is born with many diseases, and such diseases are called congenital diseases. Now, today we will read about allergy, but before that, let me ask you a question. Do you clean your cupboard? When you clean your cupboard, your parents must be telling you to clean your belongings, to clean your cupboard in your room, and many a times it may happen that you clean the cupboard and you end up sneezing. You start sneezing when you are cleaning the cupboard. You start sneezing, isn't it? It happens. Or maybe if you are eating an egg and your stomach starts paining, or many other things, if you ate and your stomach starts paining. All these conditions come under the category of allergy. You are allergic to dust. When you clean cupboard and you start sneezing, that means you are allergic to dust. And when you eat something and you become ill after eating that particular thing, that means you are allergic to those food items. So you must avoid eating those food items. So now discuss in details what this allergy is. An allergy is a condition that makes some people sick because they have eaten, touched or inhaled something. Sometimes cleaning an old cupboard of books or clothes may result in allergic conditions such as heavy sneezing. You are perfect before cleaning the cupboard, but as soon as you started cleaning the cupboard, you get heavy sneeze. Your eyes starts watering. You suffer from itching and rashes, and all these conditions occur to you when you performed any activity, and before that, before performing that task, you were well, you were perfect, there were no problems with you, but after you did all these things, you have all these problems. Then what happens in this case? You suffer. Things such as dust, pollen grains, smoke from firecrackers, or certain perfumes may cause allergies in different people. And different people have different allergies. I am allergic to honey. Whenever I consume honey, I feel uncomfortable. I feel uneasiness. So it may, to some people it may happen, some people eat egg and their stomach starts paining. So different people are allergic to different things and different situations. They may clean their cupboard, they may do any household work, and they start feeling uneasiness. So what happens in this case, that the body, the microbes present inside our body, the body feels that the unknown germs have entered our body, and the microbes which are present in our body, they start fighting, they start killing, destroying those germs. By mistake, the body feels that some harmful germs have entered our body, and the microbes start fighting, the microbes which are present inside our body, they start destroying those germs. So in this case, what happens? We start feeling uncomfortable, and this allergy happens to us. So this is what happens in allergy. Now, things such as dust, it generally happens when we deal with dust. When we clean cupboard, we are cleaning out the dust. So the dust particles go inside through our nose, or we may suffer its consequence in our eyes. Pollen grains, these are very small seeds. Smoke from firecrackers, some people are allergic to the smoke coming out from firecrackers. Or maybe some perfumes are may not be good for you, because whenever you may smell that particular perfume, you may feel uneasy. So all these things come under the category of allergy. With this we finish this chapter, but here after this we have some diseases and how these diseases are caused. Today we'll discuss about dengue and malaria. So here dengue is a viral disease. All of you know dengue is caused by virus. So it is called a viral disease. It is viral. Whereas malaria, it is caused by a parasite. You have read about the protozoa. Malaria is caused by protozoa. Parasite, they are also very small living things. They live in the body of other living things, so that they are provided with all the food and everything from the body in which they are living. So these are called parasites. The parasites are very small living creatures, and they live in the body of other creatures, and so they are called parasites. And protozoa is a parasite, and malaria is caused by protozoa. Now, dengue is spread by the female Aedes aegypti mosquito, whereas malaria is caused by female Anopheles mosquito. So, what difference do we find in dengue and malaria? Dengue is a viral disease, whereas malaria is caused by parasite. Then dengue is caused by the mosquito, the female Aedes aegypti mosquito, whereas malaria is caused by the female Anopheles. Now the prevention of symptoms. We'll at first know what are the symptoms of these. Though we have read in the table, in the chart that we discussed in the previous class about the symptoms of dengue and malaria, I'm repeating it over here. Here when you see, the symptoms of dengue are sudden fever, headache, chills, rash, muscle pain, muscle and joint pain, nose bleeding, and bleeding gums. All these are symptoms of dengue. Whereas the symptoms of malaria are high fever, and this high fever returns after every 4 to 8 hours. Then you have headache, you feel nausea, you feel like vomiting, you vomit also, tiredness, you feel tired, fits, fit is chakkar aana, fits means chakkar aana, and loss of consciousness, loss of consciousness means behosh ho jana. Sometimes the person loses his conscious when he suffers from malaria. So this is what we read about dengue and malaria. Dengue is a viral fever, whereas malaria is caused by parasite. Parasite is a very small living thing that lives in the body of other living things. Then dengue is caused by the female Aedes aegypti mosquito, whereas malaria is caused by female Anopheles. The symptoms of dengue are sudden fever, headache, chills, rash, muscle and joint pains, nose bleeding, and bleeding of gums. When we bleed from our gums, that is called bleeding of gums. Now, the symptoms of malaria are high fever, headache, vomiting, tiredness, fits, and loss of consciousness. Now, we will know how we can prevent dengue and malaria. What is the prevention of? Prevention of malaria and dengue. As you know, both these diseases, they are caused by mosquitoes. So the first and most important thing that you must keep in your mind to prevent malaria and dengue are not to get the mosquitoes breed. And all of you know, the mosquitoes, they breed on stagnant water. So we must never let any kind of water collect inside our house, or sometimes you can also control the this collection of water outside your house. So fill and cover all breeding places of mosquitoes. The first point mentioned over here, fill and cover all the breeding places of mosquitoes. So wherever you see that the mosquitoes can breed in those places, you must fill that up. You must cover that up. Use insect repellents. What are insect repellents? The All Out, the Good Night, all these machines, they are insect repellents. Or you must also use mosquito nets inside your homes. So in today's houses, in most of the houses, we see there are nets, mosquito nets in the windows, and when we sleep, we must use mosquito net. Wear long sleeved clothes and trousers. So always try to wear full sleeves, trousers and clothes. Do not let water collect in coolers, towers, tanks and unused pots. So never allow the water collected into any place for longer period. So this was what we read today. Tomorrow we'll be discussing about swine flu, typhoid, diarrhea and jaundice. Please complete all your work that has been given as your classwork and homework. Go through the videos and revise everything properly. Thank you and have a nice day.